Good morning, everybody. It's Melody Reels at the Iowa Quilt Museum here in Winterset, Iowa. I forgot gloves. Just one second. I have gloves because I don't want to touch these quilts today. Okay. Sorry, I started before I was prepared. Good morning, everyone. This is Melody Reels at the Iowa Quilt Museum here in Winterset, Iowa. Thank you for watching or joining this morning or watching later this afternoon. Before we get started, I'm going to feature two quilts today. But before we get started, this last Saturday, we had our Share Your Stash sale. All the donations that came in, we took them over to a local church. And we had a great day. It was the best year yet for us. And so we're really excited about the turnout, and we just hope that it keeps growing and that you will mark it on your calendars for next year, first full weekend in November. So the second Saturday, or first or second, depending. But anyway, it was really great. Thank you all that donated. Thank you to all that came and shopped it. There were quilt guilds in town, so that was fantastic. So anyway, I just want to thank everybody for participating, all my volunteers, all the people that donated, and all the people that shopped. This exhibit, I have today's video, tomorrow's video, or next week's video. We'll do a recap. Then it's Thanksgiving, and then it comes down. If you have not made your way here to see these quilts, please don't wait. November 30th is the last day for these quilts, and then they go home. And then on December 2nd, we open with a new exhibit, Manhattan Quilt Guild, Rebound, Renew, Reimagine is that exhibit, and that'll be open on December 2nd. It'll be, free for the morning. You get coffee and donuts and get a sneak peek. So I encourage you, if you're around on November or December 2nd, to come do that. We're going to start online classes because it's getting to be winter time. Diane Murtha, we have her scheduled to start doing lectures January, February, and March, a 3-lecture series. You can go onto our website and look at that. And we have some other instructors lined up to want to do classes online. So be sure to check our website and our social media for more details on that. And we'll have classes starting in spring. Let's get started because I can't wait to talk about that one and this one in front of me. So I did my little toe dip this morning, hence why I'm kind of late. But let me flip this around. This and the one behind me are probably my most favorite to talk about. I love these quilts. If you don't know, she's got it labeled as Windmill Blades or a pineapple quilt. And I'll read what she has here. Dimensions are 76 by 86 inches, circa 1880, found in Michigan, unknown maker, lent by Julie Silber. Quilt story, log cabin quilts in their numerous variations are typically constructed with squares and rectangles. When quilt makers choose to make the windmill blades or pineapple variants, they cut trapezoids, top and bottom parallel, with sides that tilt in towards one another. The trapezoids then create yet another more jagged look for the log cabin quilt, giving an overall impressive of blades or pineapples. So when I did my little toe dip, history-wise, not a whole lot that I could find in my short little look. I will tell you what AI said. The pineapple quilt block originated in the mid-19th century as a variation of the log cabin pattern, possibly altered by Mennonite communities to mimic the fruit's overlapping sections. The pattern is linked to a traditional symbolism of the pineapple as a sign of hospitality and goodwill, which became more widespread in America in the 19th century. This complex block, sometimes what also called windmill blades, is characterized by its use of 8 overlapping fabric stripes arranged around the central square. So this block, it's actually centered around these little blue squares, and then it comes out from there. So that kind of, if you didn't see the blades right away, maybe you see these 4 blades here or these 4 pineapples right here, and the blue is the center of the block. And then we'll get down to the breakup of this quilt block in a second. The pineapple quilt block appeared after the log cabin block, gaining popularity from the 1870s onwards. Some sources date the first version in around 1850. Another name was a Maltese cross. I looked that up and I can kind of see that, but it would be on an angle. If you were to take, God bless it, the blue part here, and this would be the cross part here, and kind of how it goes narrow in the center and then expands out at the ends of it, that's a Maltese cross. So if you were to flip it, just go tilt it, then the cross would be up and down, but this is angled. And when I looked at that Maltese cross, it's not pieced like this too. So anyway, but I had some quilters come in and they were puzzled by why, I'm gonna move you forward instead of taking you off the stand, where the quilt block was. So I'm gonna help you, we're gonna look closer at the quilt block. Because it's not a block, it's not a square. I'm gonna come over to this here. So, because this blue, all these little blue squares, solid piece. All these white squares or diamonds, solid piece. So then it became the question is, where is the quilt block? So there were probably 3 or 4 of us and my standing here trying to figure it out. This is what we came up with. Here to here. But since this is a solid piece, we're going down the blue here and then over to here. So if I was prepared, I would have created something here for you to see it better. But so this is the actual quilt block here. And then it comes down. Can you see that? So this is the center and it builds out from there. And here are those angled pieces that they build up upon here and here. Got a little bit of a square and a square there. And then when they pieced it together, each block, they used these solid pieces. So they had to have, sewn a solid piece on and then, connected each block or octagon or whatever to the center of that white. So it was a little bit of a puzzle, which was kind of fun to figure out. So let's take a quick closer look at the prints and the fabric that are lovely. Lot of people love the floral print in here. And they think that's so special. We've got these little squares, or I don't know, yeah, these little designs here. You even have a solid piece, but I think this is part of this one. Because look, you've got a little flower here too. There's a little delicate, dainty little vine here as well. Really, just precious. And then the border here is all the same. Let's look at the quilting and the little leaves pattern she kind of created here. And get out. Let's talk about the quilting. Let me find a good one here. Let's see how that'll show up good on the camera. So not only does she have a square, she's got a circle. Do you see that? Do you see the little arches in there? The little petals or the little blades, almost like she's mimicking the windmill blades inside. I wonder if we flip it over, if you could see it a little better. Let's see. Here we go. Do you see that? Just so tiny, so delicate, so amazingly done. Oh, and there's the border quilting there again. So I thought it was the leaves, but look, she did the same thing here with the circle and the circle. They kind of overlap. You've got these little petal looking things. Blades again. So blades in here, and you can call, these blades as well that come out and around. Beautiful. Okay, so somebody was teasing me online about, well, these were done in the 1800s. Of course, they don't have labels on them, or, they wouldn't have thought about that. And I agree with that. My point, but what my mission is when you inherit a quilt, when a quilt comes your way, get that quilt story on it. get your story that you know that's been handed down with these quilts, because then who made this? We don't know. You know, it's lost. Some family. Here, let's look at this one. This one's kind of unique. This little dainty print. There's some stars. Anyway, I keep looking at the little prints in here. Very pretty. Very pretty. Very fun. Okay, we're going to take a road trip. Hold on, everybody. Let me get you back on. And we're going to back up. There's the orange peel. There's our gallery. There's that beautiful one with the Trabanto. And this one. I love this quilt. Okay, so let's read what Julie has on this one. And I have got a ton of information on, well, just different ideas. Let me make sure I've got in the right order here. Nope. Anyway, this one she calls Wheel of Mystery Variation, 82 by 86 inches, circa 1870, found in Michigan, unknown maker, Julie Silber is the lender. It takes someone very skilled in piecing to pull off this particular design as flawlessly and powerfully as we see it here. Precision in cutting and seaming in is the key. The curve seam can be tricky, presuming he or she also designed and executed the hand quilting. This quilt gets an A+. A+ indeed. This quilt, I love talking about this quilt. This, I think if you were to change out the colors of this quilt, it could look like something out of the 1960s or 1970s instead of 1870. So she called it the Wheel of Mystery Variation. So I looked up the Wheel of Mystery. Boop, boop, boop. Uh-oh, did I not print it? No. Yes. So there's a Peter and Paul variation of Wheel of Mystery. And so I found that, and I have to tell you, this is my new favorite website. It's Field Guide to Quilts, and they have all these great images. The only problem I have with this is that, see how it has this little square in the middle? So, okay, well, it's not Peter and Paul, but it does kind of have a little bit of a curve at the end of the triangle there. So then I kept looking, and I found Wheel of Mystery Variation. I found Winding Ways, and I thought, well, that's pretty close. Winding Ways, and you kind of see that mimic of the circle out here as well. Then I came across Block Island Puzzle, and I felt like that was even closer still, but they go straight across where she does this fun curve thing. So I feel like, did she create this? She must have obviously created this on her own, because a lot of these variations that they're talking about, they don't talk about them being published until 1930s in the Kansas City Star or Quilter's New, Barbara Brackman, she talks about it in hers. Oh yeah, 1932, 1954. So, I mean, nothing that dates back into the late 1800s. But this is, okay, I'm gonna roll you closer. Well, not just yet. It's a really simple block. It's 4 pieces. There's a positive and a negative that creates this amazing, fun design. What is the first thing you see? The first thing that I always see when I come in is this. This big shape here always pops out at me right away. But then I had a friend come in and they said, well, these pop out to him right away. And then there's always the clover here in the center. That, you know, that kind of, you see that repeated pattern. Then someone said, I see a star. And then you've got these triangles that kind of make a star here, right? What was else? Of course, and then just recently, this block has been popping out at me with the circle and the 4 points. It gives kind of a pinwheel almost look to it. I had Susan Lapham, who was one of the exhibitors in the last exhibit. She came in to pick her quilts, and she goes, I think this is a Storm at Sea variation. And I was like, really? I just don't see it. But my desk sits over there to the side, and when I looked at the side, then I could see the waves around each circle, to see the waves that kind of create, or the, you know, as you go around each circle here, you kind of see the waves. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I can see the storm at sea. See the diamonds here, they pop out. So much movement in such a simple 4-piece block, positive and negative. And it just, there's some people that have a hard time looking at it because it hurts their eyes, because there is so much movement. But I am not one of those. I continually want to sit, and my brain continually wants to make little patterns, little shapes, little designs that will pop out. You know, you got the circle with the hat. I don't know, but it's just so fun. And I think it's 100 years ahead of its time. And if you look at the top, she's got the all the clovers across the top, which I think is fun. She managed to do that. So let's take you off and let's take a closer look at her quilting as well as the actual block. So the actual block is just 1, 2, 3, 4. This 4-piece right here. You got a positive and a negative. 1, 2, 3, 4. And she created these arches instead of going straight across, which then gives this nice circle. So I'm guessing she had to have created a template to get these pieces cut similar each time. But then look, you got the diamond in here. So let's look at her quilting. What is she got going on here? Look at this double and they intersect. How fantastic is that? Almost gives you a little X in the center there, but I think that's just the batting bunching up. And does she do that? And she does it in the blue. And it looks like maybe she continues on, like she just keeps quilting across the circles that way. But then when you get to these little arched triangles, if she's got a little floral in each one as well. These tiny pieces are solid. There's not any intricate quilting in those. All the same fabric, except for the binding. Has this little delicate design, a little lighter shade of blue. It almost, because of this delicate design, when you look at a distance, you think, oh, it's fraying, it's old, but it's not. It's just the print on the fabric. Of course, I want to look at the back, because I love to, gives you a better look at some of the quilting being done. See some of that in the center there. So much work, so much hand quilting. Here's the circle. You can see better those intersections, the double lines and how she crosses them over. Gives you a better look at her work. All that handiwork. Look at all that stitching right there in the middle. Good grief, so tight. So fun, so fun. I mean, this exhibit has been so fun. To be able to take time and really look at each one and find out what's remarkable about that one. You know, I always talk about the 5 up front and the amazing quilting that's done in those, but there's amazing quilting in all of these. And this, how fun this piecing is, and how fun of all the shapes and designs that just kind of pop out, and I keep wanting to look more and see what else I can see. Let me know what you see first. Okay, those are our 2 quilts. I will, when I get off, I will put in the comments the website, fieldguidetoquilts.com. Barbara Brackman is a great reference. What I like about the field guide is it gives you a little more history, little information, and I love that it gives you the sample little blocks to take a look at. They did have one on a pineapple quilt, but it wouldn't let me open it up. I don't know what that was about. And so, next week, it'll be a longer video. Be patient with me. We're gonna go through and we're gonna just take one more look at everything, and then it's Thanksgiving and then it's gone. So if you're anywhere close, please come by and see this, because they are true treasures. I think that's it. I think I'll remember something after I get off this video. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week with a recap of everything else that's in here. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.